Hey guys, welcome to Season 2, Episode 5 of Tech Pit. I am your host, SJ from XI Tech, and this week we are joined by EdoNinja. Say hi to the audience, will you?
Hi, everybody. It's actually a huge pleasure to be here. Actually, this was an unexpected turn of events, though. But you know what? It is a huge honor to be here at the podcast of Tech Pit. So, yeah, thank you all for thank you so much for having me and for you guys to listening me and such. I hope that you guys will be enjoying this episode and such. And yeah.
Thank you. Well, it's actually a pleasure to have you on here too, so it's awesome. And now that they're excited, could you tell our listeners where they can find you?
Yes. So you guys can find usually my main platform to find me is on Twitter at EdoNinja HD. I also do a podcast of my own at Storms Connect EN. So those are usually my main platforms for basically for what I do and such. So yeah, that's pretty much as to what I have. Just usually on Twitter. I also stream onto Twitch at EdoNinja Storm HD. So yeah, I usually just do content a lot here often and such, and I hope you guys like what you see.
Phenomenal. All right. That's great. You have a lot of socials apparently.
Yeah.
Yeah, I also do have a lot. It's just that I don't really use them. I have Twitch, I have like everything, but I never use them. So it's very
Dang. All right. Dead platforms.
yep. Okay, so today we'll be talking about four topics. So first we'll be talking about a few of your favorite tech gadgets, since this is a tech show after all.
Of
Including, I mean,
course.
hopefully the monitor, because if it's not one of your favorite, I'll be kind of sad.
All
Yeah.
right. So I'll just build up the suspense for this then. Um. Okay, so the first one that I want to start off real quick. So this is like something that I've had since actually the beginning of basically around my as an influencer. Pretty much I own this product, the Elgato HD. I kind of have been switching around with the capture cards here and there though. But I started with Elgato and I have continued to remain with them. So their capture card, basically, I use it for the purposes of to record with my gameplay with the PS4 and the Nintendo Switch and such. So it's been really, really helpful, and the quality is just nothing but spectacular from Elgato. So I'm always happy with them as usual. Um, and I don't know, it's just something that I've been it would just feel weird if I just don't have it, especially that's how I started my content creation. So it's like one of those products that I really enjoy a lot, and I can't see myself switching to another one. Elgato is just that good for me, at least.
Oh, I see. So, like, the capture card, what does it do? Because I'm kind of a rookie at, like, other products that are not Apple.
You know what? I don't blame you for that. So this capture card, right? So basically of what it does, you can plug into any of the system that uses the HDMI cable. So again, as I mentioned earlier before, what it does is that all you have to do is just hook up the HDMI to the Elgato, and how you power it on is through a USB-C cable, and then basically the output of it you can just plug that into basically another monitor or slash TV, and a software does come with it as well. So it's it gives you basically the very easy steps to record your gameplay from streaming from the PS4 or again the Nintendo Switch and Xbox as well. Like any other, as long as it uses HDMI and there's not an HDCP, then you're fine.
Oh, I see. So basically, it just connects to the HDMI port and basically mirrors the screen, and then it outputs the captured video into like a file that can be downloaded onto a hard drive or SD card. Is that how it works?
Yep, that's pretty much how it works. Yeah, I mean, hey, you can even do this with any of the Apple products as well too. So it also I think it's the only capture card I know in the market right now that also works for Mac.
Oh wow, that seems very interesting. That's nice. I'll definitely check it out later.
Hmm.
But for me, I,
Awesome,
I usually
awesome.
just record my screen with QuickTime Player, and that works perfectly fine.
Oh wow, I never have actually used that.
Okay, I mean, like, Apple does have some good stock solutions. Like, I recorded Apple's entire keynote, like, which is 2.5 hours long with just QuickTime Player, and it was great.
Also, that's how you. Oh wow, I'm actually genuinely impressed. So I actually did. I usually use OBS Studio because that's how I also do my streamings for when I go live on Twitch. Though, but wow, I actually did not know that they do that. Huh, interesting.
Yeah. So I have
Mm.
experienced with OBS, but I just didn't like the user interface of it. But yeah, it's great hearing that you have some tech stuff and gadgets that I literally do not know how to use. So yeah, I'll definitely be learning stuff in this episode.
For sure, for sure. So I'll move forward for the next one that I usually just enjoy. I actually have recently kind of picked this up. Um, so I'm gonna just say this right now because that like I have like a lot of consoles going on my desk and such, and especially to like I use them quite often. So I recently got this HDMI splitter, and pretty much I can connect to like for the one that I got, it has three inputs,
Three
and all
inputs.
I have to do is yeah, three HDMI inputs. And basically, like all I have to do is like if I want to go to my PS4 to my Nintendo Switch, all I have to do is just press the button. I don't have to like go around my desk, switch out the HDMI just so like untangle the cables and such. Like no, all I have to do is just press that button and it'll automatically switch.
Oh wow, that is very nice.
It is, and the good part about that is that like it's really good, especially like it does the 4K 60 hertz and such. So like that's actually really helpful. That's something that I highly really appreciate. So better quality, yay. Um and yeah, no, again, like it just saves me so much time, and of course, like there are just times that I just don't want to move up from my desk because I'm just tired. So yeah, no, it's really helpful, and I value it so much, and I might have to do that for like other setups that I have going on around here.
Oh, I see. Well, yeah, that does seem very nice. I only have two devices that I usually connect to my external monitor, so I've never had
Mm,
to get one of those. But I'm sure if you have like three devices that you want to constantly switch between or something, then it would be a very useful product. Like for me, I just connect my external monitor with a DP to USB-C cable, and I plug it to my iMac
mm.
most of the time. When I want to connect it to my iPad, it also uses USB-C. So I literally just unplug it and replug it. Takes like 5 seconds, and that has been working great for me.
Oh, you know what? You're kind of giving me ideas right now for how I want to set around, like, the other stuff that I want to get in future reference. You have my gratitude for that. I gotta thank you for that.
No worries, dude.
Yeah, that's pretty much all I have to really say about the HDMI splitter. So the next one, I guess you could say, I'm gonna say that this is kind of like my last one.
All right.
Um, so I just want to inform here the audience real quick. So I pretty much how I'm here is because of this monitor. So I'm happy to say that this wide monitor, this LG 34-inch widescreen monitor, is what brought me here today. Okay, so I've been using this monitor for about a couple weeks now. I think it's been like 2 weeks that I've now had it, and it's actually phenomenal. I don't know why, but like ever since I got it, I'm just so used to this whole widescreen thing. Like I keep forgetting that this is widescreen, and because I have two monitors, and they're both by the same brand by LG. So I have one widescreen one and then one 27-inch regular size one, and I go like the only time that I would like get the reminder that this is widescreen is when I look into my other monitor. Other than that, like this just feels so natural. I was debating of getting this monitor or the other one that was like about like 4K, but I was like, I don't see myself using 4K anytime soon, so it'd be pretty pointless. So and then after that, I was just looking for videos, and I was just like, okay, all right, I gotta see if this is actually good because I was looking on Amazon, right, and seeing that, oh wow, this monitor sucks. Like, oh no, it's not actually like 144 hertz and such. And I'm just like, no, I gotta find somebody reliable. And well, yeah, yeah, here I am.
Oh wow, that is very nice. So how I got this monitor was actually nearly identical from your situation. So I was looking for a new monitor. I went on Amazon. I was like, oh damn, I saw a few other ones, but then they didn't have 144 hertz. Now I don't usually play games, so that shouldn't be
Mhm.
a feature that I would need that much. But since my iPad
Right.
Pro is 120 hertz, I was like, okay, I need that smooth, buttery refresh rate. So I was looking for 144 hertz monitors, and I came across
Mhm.
this, and it was ultra wide, which was a main selling point for me since I really liked the 21:9 aspect ratio. So I saw this, I was like, oh
Right.
damn, that's not that expensive. I really like the tech specs. I'm gonna get it. And after I got it, I made a video about it, and that kind of just blew up. That was my first major video. So yeah.
Wait, really?
Um, yeah, so I made it the unboxing of it, and then after around half a year, I made the review because I thought half a year was enough for me to truly get to know the monitor. But yeah, the unboxing of it was my first video that kind of blew up in a sense.
Oh, wow. Well, look at us having fake products together. Wow. Because like, okay, so this is something that like, I'm also gonna share with the audience as well. Like, for me, like this is actually I didn't think this was going to be good though, because like back then before I got this monitor, actually like my new monitors, I should say, because I got both of them at the same time. I had 3 monitors, and they were
Oh wow.
all 21 inches, and that was, like, the only thing that I could afford at the time. So, and to be fair, like, for how it served my setup, it did help me out a lot, but, I'm a graphic designer, I'm also, like, a special effects, video effects editor. So, I kinda need a better monitor than the ones that I have right now. There was only one that was, like, the one that I was looking for my needs, but I'm just like, these are 2015 like models of like Asus and Acer. Like, no, I gotta upgrade soon. So that's why, since I was saving up and such, and I was just like, okay, I gotta get myself like a kick-ass monitor and something that it would actually like serve the purpose of my editing and like for my graphic designs and such. And again, for 2 weeks straight, I've just been here and I'm just like, this is so much good working space and good workflow for like how I use my Adobe products and such, and it just feels so natural. Like again, like if I have to downgrade, if I don't have this monitor, I'm gonna have a serious problem.
Yeah, yeah. I literally feel the same. Like, it's great to hear that now you've upgraded from your three 21-inch monitors. And like, I truly believe that this is one of the best ultra wides on the market. So yeah, it's great that you picked this one up.
Yeah, no, especially for like the price that like what it offers, it's actually not that bad. Like I was actually expecting something like this to be like what, like almost at $800, because that's
Hmm.
how like usually the prices that I've seen for monitors like these though. But when I saw the price tag, I was just like, that's cap. There's no way that it's this much for that quality. But that's why I was just like, I gotta look for a reliable video. And yours was like the most reliable one, because I'm just like, there is no way. Like there, like these mixture of these reviews, like no, there's no way. And here I am. I'm having this monitor. I'm like, I had zero issues with the monitor. I'm just saying, like, for those of you if you're interested of getting that monitor, I'm just gonna say this right now. If you look on Amazon, don't listen to any of the ones that says that, oh no, it's trash. No, they just don't know how to configure it appropriately. That's all I'm
Exactly,
saying for that.
exactly.
Hmm.
Also, I'm pleasured that you thought that my video was like actually um what's the word? I just forgot the word. Well, you know what I mean.
It was very informative, and what I liked about that video, it was straight to the point. Because the other videos that I looked at, like I'm not gonna be dropping any names here though, but like they were kind of beating around the bush. I'm just like, all right, so what is it? Is it actually good or not? I need to know before I ridiculously spend my money just to flex on my friends.
Oh yeah. I mean, I kind of like in some of my videos I do beat around the bush, but like for ones that I
Mm.
actually think are important, I try to go straight to the point and talk about like my experiences with it and if I would recommend it. So,
Right, and like, because like I'll say this right now, because I'm not like so much of like a huge PC gamer, and I understand like the aspects, like for 144 refresh rate of monitors, they're pretty crucial, especially for like people that wanted to go competitive and they need like a very decent monitor. Like that's another topic for another day though, which I understand it completely from that though. But it's like it's not exactly from what I was looking for, especially for like someone that like me as a designer and such that like does a lot of my editing work and such. I need something that could at least have the concise way to explain it from like, okay, can you do this for gaming? Yes. Can you do this for like, for casual, use of it? Yes. And there's other capabilities of what it can do and what it offers. So that's why I was just like, I need to find something like this rather than just talking about, oh yeah, if you play on Apex Legends or whatever, this is how it's gonna look like. And I'm not trying to discredit that it doesn't look bad or anything like that, though. I'm just like, did you configure this right? Because I actually did test out some of the games that, like, they said that they did. I'm just like, I have not had an issue with this. So, yeah, no, something's wrong with your computer, with your graphics card, or you just got a faulty monitor. I'm sorry, but I have not had a single issue with that. And there's these reviews are saying that, like, oh, yeah, well, this is like usage after for like 3 days. Well, I've had this monitor for 2 weeks and nothing has happened. So I'm sorry, LG sent you a wrong one, or you just don't know how to configure it. I don't know. But the best of luck to you, I suppose.
Exactly. Yeah, yeah. Um, when I chose this monitor, I actually looked at the resolution and how it's 1080p vertically. So like a lot of people are
Right.
saying how it's bad and you should not spend the money to get this monitor since it's 1080p vertically and not 1440p. But
Mhm.
I saw it. I was like, okay, I run it on a Mac, so especially when I'm video editing, the 21:9 ratio really helps. But if I have it, say, 1440p or even 4K, that's going to be really heavy on my GPU, meaning that my export times
Right.
and rendering times for my videos will be much longer. So I actually saw the 1080p resolution as an advantage towards other monitors. So yeah, like overall, I just believe this monitor is amazing.
Yeah, you know what? I'm so glad that you brought up on that point because that's exactly what I was worried about for my graphics card. Because, like, I also recently upgraded because I went from a 1050 Ti to 2060 Ventus.
Hmm.
And yeah, no, like, because again, like, even with like the heavy editing work I have doing, like, because again, like, I go really in depth with my editing. And like, so far since I've done some rendering tests and such, it's literally been nothing but a pleasure that it's been improving my workflow actually. So it's like the fact that it was 1080p, like I don't care because like I'm not making like 4K edits. Maybe I will one day. I don't know. That part could change though. But I am not going to give up this monitor unless it's going to be a 4K version of this. Then sure, fine. I'll drop the extra cash.
Okay, you you do say that, but it's funny since I edit my videos and all my videos are 4K in like the smallest corner of the screen. So like,
Oh
you're
my
kind of
god,
you're
you are a
kind of attacking me
madman.
there.
Look, I'm just saying, like, I'm only like, look. At least, like for your case, like, I respect you, and I actually enjoy with your content. So you know what? I'm gonna give you a pass, though. But
Oh, thank you, thank you.
all I'm just simply saying is that for in terms of exporting of my editing and stuff like that, like, again, like, no, I'm really firm with this standpoint.
All
So,
right.
but yeah, that's pretty much it for this monitor for me.
Yeah. I love it. It's so good, and I'm so glad that you are enjoying it as much as I am. Now, this is a bit off topic. Uh,
Yeah.
it's not the second point, but it's just something that I thought of. So when I saw your photo that you posted onto Twitter of your setup, you nearly have the exact same setup as I do. And when I saw that, I was like, oh wow, I have to make a collab with this guy.
All right. So all right, I'm gonna tell you this right now. It was pure coincidence.
Are you sure about
It was a
that?
little bit of okay, look. I know it looks suspicious because like you can make the argument that like when I saw your setup and such, because like okay, like look, because like I said, I have the three monitors set up and such, but like most of the gadgets that I have on here and such, and how my room is optimized, this was the best way of how to set it up though. But I won't deny, maybe just a little bit. I'm not saying entirely, but it was like properly, like probably like the best inspiration that I could take from it because I was like I'm really keen as to like how I should place my monitors and everywhere else around my desk workflow. So I'm just here going, oh wait a minute, hold on, this kind of looks clean. Hold on, maybe I gotta take a couple notes here, and I just jotted them down real quick before I just kind of renovated my setup. I also want to share this to the audience as well, but I pretty much just like revamped my entire setup here because like not only that I got new monitors, I literally like rebuilt my PC. I also rebuilt my desk because I used to have an L-shaped desk and that was not working out for me quite well. So that was like one of the reasons as to why I was able to get rid of the monitors that I had because I was just like I also need the better one so it would look properly and more well suited for my desk. And it just like if you guys saw it, it looked pretty crappy. It was like it's kind of like cool looking, but like if you really look at it from like another standpoint, like it was kind of uncomfortable and my room is small, so I'm just like, you know what, I'll just go for like a one long wide desk, and now I just don't feel the uncomfortableness anymore, and I'm just like, oh wow, so I'm still comfortable. And again, I don't have to like go from one area to the other and such. And oh god, I know you want to make a comment about this because I know you saw like you called me out on Twitter, I think, for it. But
I did, yes.
this the cable management for my L-shaped desk was horrendous. It wasn't that bad, but because there were some things that were falling apart from that desk, it just got bad. So I just kind of gave up on it. And I did the best that I could for the cable management on this one. But I'm just like, you know what? I'll just make it at least not like, amazing of how it should be, but like at least something decent to where I won't have to like, be so frustrated about it. I mean, don't get me wrong. Like I look like I'm pretty triggered every time that I look at it too. But it's gonna my setup is probably gonna change again because I won't be here in this house for about like a couple more months or so since I'll be moving around in January. So that's why I was like, you know what? It'll be so much of a headache if I put that much effort into like the cable management and like the wiring and such. So I'm just gonna leave it as is for right now. But don't worry, I will fix it in time.
I see, I see. But may I just say something?
What's up?
I spent like a day managing my cables. So I literally just took apart everything. I redid the cables for my desk, and
Hmm.
that took like a day. After that, okay, so basically I just use Velcro and zip ties. After that, I never
Hmm.
had to like touch it once. So could you just like not spend one day, just one day, please? It's making me it's making me feel pain all around my body just seeing all of the cables. Okay, it's so painful. Please.
Okay, look. Listen. Okay, I can't promise anything for right now, but I will do my best because my job as of recently has been like making me like wake up at 6 a.m. And by the time that I'm off of work, like I'm just tired. I just immediately pass out. I'm just like, all right, I'm done for the day. Good night. So
Okay.
when they're giving me the liberty to have at least one day off, I'm going to remember this. And you could be my alarm clock for crying out loud. I will be glad to have you as my alarm clock. I'll be like, okay, all right, fine. He's in pain. And I probably should share my gratitude appropriately to him by fixing my cable management.
That sounds like a plan, mate.
Alrighty then. It's a deal.
It is a deal. Deal closed.
Hmm.
All right.
Hey.
Would you like to move on to the next point, which I think is m- like really exciting, at least for me? Would you like?
No, I'm on the same page with you on that. I'm actually excited to talk about this too. I'm actually curious with this.
Okay, okay. So, point number
Mm,
2. How do you feel
mm.
about Apple as a company? And a subset of that is how do you like their products? So first, how do you feel about Apple?
Okay, so I've actually have been an Apple fanboy since probably year 2012, maybe.
Amazing. All right,
I want
amazing.
to
You are
say
you are
yes.
literally my favorite tech person now. So thank you so much.
See, I'm glad you knew what the peak was for that, so I'm glad that you already know why I'm saying this. So, but I'll be glad to indulge further than this. Like okay, like back when I was like younger, I seen that like Apple was like a big thing or whatever. I didn't think too much of it, but then like as the years go by, especially again the peak of 2012, I'm like, oh okay, wait, hold on, they actually got some cool things going on. It kind of looks amazing, and especially like the one thing that like definitely, and I mean definitely got me hooked for sure was the iPhone 5. I'm like, all right, I'm sold. That's
Oh,
all I need to know.
nice. Yeah,
It was
I have a
mhm.
fun fact actually. The iPhone 5 was
Huh.
my first ever phone. So, yeah,
Oh, wow.
I was born into the Apple ecosystem, and the iPhone 5 to me was like the the best device, like best tech device I've ever held. So, yeah, that's
Mhm.
mainly what pulled me into Apple.
Yeah, because like it was like one of the like because I had I wasn't immediately born into the ecosystem though because like I usually just had a Motorola phone or just like a slide up phone and such. But just there was something about the iPhone. I'm just like, oh wait, this kind of looks classy. And like I said, I didn't think too much of it back then. But then like because of how attractive their devices looked, I'm like, okay, wait, I actually kind of want to like get into this. And I'm just like, you know what? I know what they're doing and it's working and it's making me like want to be pulled into this ecosystem. And well, here I am. And the way of how that happened is I got their iPod Touch because it's like basically it's just a phone, but without like the cellular service of it. I was just like, oh my God, that's actually a very bold move of that.
Yeah, yeah.
And basically like there's this one point that you brought up and I'm so glad that you actually made me remember this as to why I love Apple so much. And I knew there's I will debate with this I will debate on this on with anybody. I don't mind, but I know there are certain features that Apple has recently introduced into like their products and such that like of course Android has already done, but I'm just like, okay, but here's the thing though. Apple waits quietly. They take notes, and after that, they make it better. And you know what? I don't
Thank you
care
so
if it's
much.
not
Oh my
original or
gosh,
not,
thank
but they
you.
make the improvements. So, because like I'm gonna be honest here, because it's like they'll watch like the flaws of what other companies do, and like yeah, they'll just make it better. And guess what? We still consume it anyways, and it works, and it has more efficiency and stabilization compared to Android. So fight me.
Oh my gosh. Okay, thank you so much. That's literally the point I live by, okay? Apple takes something that's cool and makes it something that's essential to everyone. Like they take a quirk of like another company and just develops it into something that they can actually market as a main selling point of a phone. And to me, that means so much. And especially like iOS 14 with their widgets. Widgets, yeah, they have been around on Android phones for such a long time. But as soon as they brought onto iPhones, that was huge. Like you've seen the news articles of people like saying, "Oh wow, you can do this, you can do that" with widgets, and widgets are not yet that powerful, but still, it's already game changing.
Yeah, and this is something that like I actually want to call this out real quick because like, now that we're saying this aloud, like it's just like the fact that like I understand like what the consumers are saying that like, oh well, Apple is copying Android and stuff like that though. I'm like, okay, you could try to debate with us about that, but here's the thing though. Like Apple is not stupid. Obviously, these companies are watching what the consumers say and what the media says, and of course, like as to what
Exactly.
people are wanting though. But what they have to do and to ensure its quality of how it's going to work on their products, especially like, for the synchronization for going to iMac, to iPhone, to iPod and such, and so whatever they're trying to like, incorporate into their family system. That's all I like to label it as. It's like they want to deliver to their best quality of that. And I'm not trying to say that Android is not trying to do the same thing though, but I don't see that user friendly, like especially like for as a beginner for anybody that's like trying to get into like getting a new phone or getting to a tech, like they tried to make this open for everybody and easy to use rather than like yes sure you have more customization with Android and such though, but I wouldn't say you should let the media manipulate you to the point where it's just like, oh well, they're not like innovative or like they're not like this unique or whatever, all they're doing is just copy and pasting. I'm like, okay sure, but like, obviously, they're gonna have their type of ways of going around about it. It's just of what's gonna work efficiently for you. I wouldn't say you should discredit Apple for that.
Precisely. Oh my gosh, thank you for that. Yeah, I
Mhm.
believe the exact same. Um, and also, not only that they copy, like sure, yes, technically they do copy, but they also made so many things by themselves. Like if you didn't know, USB-C was actually developed partly by Apple, right? Thunderbolt 3 was developed by Apple and Intel. So many things. Like the mouse, which is so common today, that was only made popular by Apple. So they are sometimes not the last, believe it or not. And when they're not the last, they actually are like they spent their own efforts and they make something that's groundbreaking while others cannot.
Exactly, and that's why I'm saying it's just like, again, like I again, I believe that they're being discredited like unfairly here. Like, of course, like again, go with whatever you want to go with. Like anyone's allowed to have and keep an open mind though. But just because like they're not like doing like the same like unique moves as like other companies are, doesn't mean that they're a bad company.
Exactly.
That you should not try to invalidate them because again, like you got to give credit to some type of like some credit to Apple because it's like they have some type of influence and it works. Like, you can try to fight with them about their pricing and stuff like yeah, sure. They're pretty expensive though.
I don't.
But
No,
I
no,
mean
no,
again,
no.
like
They're not expensive at all. They're so cheap. They're the cheapest
okay,
company
okay.
ever.
Hold on. Okay. I mean, okay, to a degree of how they work out their plans for their pricing, I could agree with you on that.
Oh, okay. So, I am in the cult of Apple, and I have to say that they are the cheapest company. They sell the cheapest device. No, okay. They're kind of
Hmm.
expensive, yes. However, for what you
Yeah.
get, I think the values are there.
Oh yeah, of course. But yeah, no, that's all I really have to say. Like, I actually like enjoy with Apple because like, obviously like here's the thing, like even though like as I labeled myself earlier, like yeah, I've been an Apple fanboy since like 2012, and I will regrettably say that there was a time that I wasn't exactly up to date with Apple because like I was just so focused onto my schoolwork and
How
like
dare
other
you?
stuff, what to do with my content creation. But hey, look, I came right back. But I never stopped using their products. It's just I never kept updated as to what they were doing, and they wrote to me back with their attention, and the good thing is that they reminded me as to why I like the company so much. So that's why I was just like, I feel so bad I have not kept it today. And well, yeah, here I am. And I'm fixing my mistake and I'm about to do a lot better.
I see. All right. Another thing that I like about Apple, I'm not sure about you, is that sometimes they do
Mm.
actually they put form over factors. Like, what am I saying? Form over function. I cannot speak today. They sometimes do that. Like,
Hmm.
and people say, okay, yeah, they're just for aesthetics. They're not good. They just want their products to look pretty. And I actually like that sometimes, since you know, in my videos, I wear suits. Like, yeah, suits are not the most comfortable. I understand that. I'm not an idiot. But like sometimes you want to put form over function. Like it is, in my opinion, one of their main selling points.
Okay, so what I do want to say about that, like to that extent, I actually do agree with you on that because that's something that I actually did enjoy with Apple is that the fact that like they take their appearance of it very seriously, and I think that's like one of the things that's the why like they're really good in terms of their marketing skills with that. Um, I will say that like to a degree like I feel like there should be like the equal treatment with like with their value of their efficiency with their things, and especially like it should be treated the same way with their appearance. And and that's something that like I kind of have had some criticism with other companies that like okay, you could present this idea, you could present this product and such though, but it's the way of how you go about it as to like getting the attention to the consumers is another story with that, and how you're going to develop this appeal of this product where it's just very eye candy. And I feel like that is a very important thing. Like, you can argue that, like, oh, well, if a phone works or if a tablet works, it just works and such. It's just like, yes, but don't you want to have like a better presentation with it where it's just like, okay, like you could have the equal value treatment of this is a very like classy looking device and such. They're presenting to you appropriately that would fit to your needs. And then guess what? It's a win-win for everybody, even the
Hmm.
company itself.
Thank you so much. Yeah, I stand by that 100%. And um, I don't like when companies go overboard though. Like sometimes, like even if you look at the Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 2, which is a mouthful by the way, that phone it folds. That's the main thing of it. It costs $2,000. Why? Because it folds. The screen's plastic. Why? Because it folds. Like it's not water resistance. Why? Because it folds. Like it just folds. That's the main selling point. And yeah, sure, it looks cool. And when you fold it, yeah, that's really eye catching. But really
But
though,
does it work though?
I mean, what do you mean? Does it work? Can you call on it? I mean, yeah, you can call on it, but like. Anything else? No, I don't think so.
Hmm. Well, I mean, again, this goes back to our point that we were saying earlier is the fact that like they do provide like this, like they of course they try to get their message across that how they develop their products and like what it's capable of, it will work. Not something where it's just like you look at that phone that you just mentioned earlier, and it's just like, oh yeah, like this looks good in paper and such. And guess what? You get it, and then guess what? There's an
Yeah.
over amount flow of complaints, bad reviews, and such. And like again, there are many other factors that anybody could debate with me on this though. But again, it's like, why do you think Apple is so quiet sometimes? They're not quiet for a reason, like for no reason, you know.
Yeah, yeah. And they're very
So
secretive. I like
mhm,
that because that gets me hyped
I do
about their
too.
products. And just overall, they're a mysterious company, you know?
And that's something that like I'm glad that they were able to keep up with because I actually was really worried about that when the passing of Steve Jobs happened many years ago. Rest in peace
Mm-hmm.
to him, obviously. But
Rip.
I'm just glad that like no matter what, like even like with after for taking over for shout out to Tim Cook real quick, but they're still like keeping that shape and top form of Apple that Steve left behind.
Exactly, yeah. When
Hmm.
Apple transitioned to the direction under Tim Cook, like I was actually really surprised that he kept Apple as Apple like as Steve Jobs. And yes, he did make meaningful changes, but I believe now that if we look back at it, they were necessary changes to adapt to the modern world.
I can see why you say actually, yeah, you know what? I didn't think of that. You're right. Yeah. Um, I will say that, like, because again, I know there was like a lot of concern, and I just love of like how he's so like he's also invested into the company that like he now took over as well. So it's just like I love people like that. That it's just like you're actually sharing that passion. Like it doesn't. It actually feels like natural that like this is what you actually wanted to be excited about, rather than just like, oh yeah, here you go, here's this, coming out next week.
Precisely, yeah, yeah. So, yeah, you bring some really good points to the table, and like talk like you really understand these things. So that's something I really admire about you. Um, but like I do also want to know your views on a few products. So let me just bring up one. All right,
Okay, all
you
right.
know that Apple hosted their keynote like 2 weeks ago.
With their recent new iPhone, yes.
Yes, but before they released their iPhones, they also talked about the HomePod Mini.
Okay, I'm gonna be honest with you. I did not even look at that. I was just too gobbled up about that iPhone. But okay, all right. I gotta give them credit for the HomePod. All right, okay.
All right, so the HomePod is actually my favorite part of the event, the HomePod Mini,
Hmm.
since it only costs $99 and it has it has the S6 chip, which is the same chip as the one in the Apple Watch Series 6, and it's basically just HomePod but smaller, cheaper, and that's literally it. So it's Apple smart speaker, but it's not just that. It also communicates with all of your other Apple devices, enhancing the Apple ecosystem. So it talks to your smart home accessories, it talks to your phone, your iPads, it automatically switches, just like AirPods. And just all of that functionality of it makes me really want to get a pair, or maybe two pairs.
It's funny because I actually just like looked it up right now. It's actually really good. Maybe I have to cop this next. Actually, um, now, see, I know, like, again, there's a lot of people that are going to be saying, like, oh, this is not anything different and such. I'm just like, well, I mean, hey, if you're complaining about the prices of Apple and such, this is kind of cheaper and you're kind of still getting the same product. Again, it's just a miniature version. And it's actually, like, I'm not going to lie, it actually looks good. I actually like it. I'm about to cop the black version of it. I love
Yeah.
it.
All right. I guess I'm just the best Apple salesman because literally on every episode I recommend a product to someone and they're like, oh yeah, I'm gonna get it now.
Yeah, you're really good with PR and such. I'm surprised that you're not hired
I know,
yet.
right? Apple, they should definitely pay me to make videos. Ugh.
All right, you know what? We got to make a campaign for this. You know what? I'm down for it.
Oh yeah, I'm down
But
too.
of course, yeah. But what I'm saying for this whole pop, what I like about this already, because I see that like there's some compromises that I've seen with like other products that are similar to this, obviously. But it's also not like, oh well, you have to get an app for this to work. No, it's already software friendly, and
Mm-hmm.
that's something that it saves so much time, and it just works. Especially the fact that it could work across with your Apple devices. It's like there, I know like you guys might not be a fan of going into the ecosystem though, but just think about it for the usage of around to your whole your household, or like for work and such, it works efficiently. I'm
Yeah.
just saying, like for what I'm seeing over here and such, it's definitely like a big step up forward. And again, it's only like $100. That is a steal right there. I'm just saying.
Yep. And especially that when you're in Christmas, I think like a lot of parents would be getting like a HomePod mini for their kids since if they say they want AirPods, right? AirPods are like what, $200? They could be like, or we can get you this smart speaker from Apple that you can also listen to music with, and it's only $100. So like it's a good gift. So I think this is gonna sell really well.
I will be surprised if it does not do well, because it's just like again, this is also like a much more of a cheaper option, and I actually like it. I like it very much. So you know what, I gotta definitely cop this for some of the products that I have here already. So yeah, no, this is gonna be very helpful for me.
Awesome. Yeah. I think pre-order starts in like 12 days. So like nearly 2 weeks. There's still a while to go before the pre-order actually starts, but when it does, I will definitely be like I'll definitely just DM you or just make a tweet on Twitter like asking you did you get it?
Yeah, no, just spam my Twitter. Just spam my Twitter until if it is going up at 6 a.m., I'm waking up at 6 a.m. So like
All right.
9.
All right. That sounds good. Sounds like a plan.
Awesome.
Is there any other Apple device that you want to capitalize on, or should we move to our next point?
Now that you brought that up, there is a couple things that I do want to talk about real quick. Okay.
All right, all right.
So, the
I'm
first
excited.
one that I want to go over real quick, and I'm gonna say this right now. I've wanted this since 2010. I've wanted this device since 2010, and especially for for what I do, I wanted it even more. So, I this year, I went through a very very hardship year. Even with this pandemic and all, like it's been really tough, but you know what, I was blessed this year. I was extremely blessed, and I decided, I was like, you know what, I have not treated myself in a while. I think it's time that I actually like learned how to value myself appropriately by treating myself as to what I wanted to do for so long, since I was a kid basically. So I got myself a MacBook Pro, a
Ooh.
2020 version, and it is amazing.
Oh, I love to hear it.
It's okay. No, I'm gonna just tell you this right now. I now see why Adobe products work better for the Mac. Like, I obviously kind of have to like use it on my main PC at the moment though. But like, I on my spare time, like I've been able to use Adobe products and such, and I'm just like, wow. So basically, what I'm looking at here, Adobe was more optimized for Apple products rather than, for Windows here, which I'm a little bit salty about. I'm not going to deny that much. I am a little bit salty about that though. But I'm so happy that I was able to catch this. I'm just like, you know what? I don't care what anybody tells me. It is one of the most appealing Macs that I have ever looked at, especially for like, for a laptop like this. It's like, no, this is beautiful. And of course, I never like have seen myself use the touch bar that much with it. It's like, oh my god, it's a touch screen with this, and I'm like, oh my god, and I can actually change the color with it too, rather than just like doing it with like a mouse or like
Exactly.
the
It's so
trackpad here. I'm just like,
futuristic.
I could just do that exactly. And what I love about it as well, that I have with this version specifically, I got fingerprint security.
Oh yeah.
I love that.
Um,
I love that. And this is something that I don't have with the rest of my products and such. And it's just like, oh, you want to make a purchase? Just use your fingerprint. Done.
exactly. Uh, may I ask which model you got? Like, how many Thunderbolt ports are there? 2 or 4?
There's only two of them, because that was only one that I could afford at the
Mate, you
moment.
cheaped out. You cheaped out, mate. How dare you?
I I know, but like again, saving is really hard these days. I'm telling you that much though. But I was just like, you know what? I gotta get at least something, you know. So this is the best that I could get. And honestly, like I kind of had to get myself a little bit like with more accessory towards to that though. But I mean, hey, like I can make do with what I got here, and it's worked so good. And I love the monitor too. It's so good.
Mhm. Alright. You
Uh,
know what? I actually
mhm.
have a story. You might hate me for this, alright?
Go on. I'm listening.
Okay, so I bought the 2019 MacBook Pro, like, last year, so in 2019, when it
Hmm.
was the May release, so Apple just refreshed it. I got one. I got the 4 Thunderbolt model, so it was the more higher end one. I used
Yeah.
it, and then I really liked it until, the 2020 iPad Pro came out, and I was like, "Okay, yeah, this is nice. I wanna get one now." I bought one, uh, and then now I barely use my MacBook Pro since I just use my iPad, like, basically every day. I do go to school still, so when I'm at school,
Hmm.
I do bring my MacBook Pro. However, I basically never use it. I don't think I've used it once at school so far, so yeah.
I am. I have words. I have very colorful, interesting words though. But you know what? Like I said, I'm gonna forgive you because at least that like you're still supporting them in some way, shape, or form though. But I'm just here going like you cannot be doing the Mac dirty like this. No.
But have you seen the
But
iPad Pro though? It's so good. Like, oh, it's perfect.
I love that you said that because that's actually what I wanted to talk about next.
Really? Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, because I actually bought the Mac with the iPad Pro.
Mm.
So,
Why?
and honestly, I because okay, look. The main selling point for me was basically of like how good efficiency for like, again, for me as a designer and such, like I love of like what you could do with the iPad as is already. But once that I saw that you could use this iPad as a second monitor, and on
Oh,
top of that, like you
yes.
could use it as a way for like, for oh yeah, you could use this as a tablet and then you could see like, for your art or your designs and such, you could see that there, but to actually do the editing appropriately, you could do it on the iPad Pro. And I'm like, what the hell is this? What? I'm like, you know what? No, mine. It's mine now. I'm taking that. And I took so much pride of taking that iPad Pro, and I was just like, all right, where's that MacBook Pro? This is mine now. And I want to share this real quick. For any of my I don't know that I'm obviously gonna share this on Twitter, so I don't know if any of my friends or like my viewer base is listening to this podcast. But if you are, I
Probably
just want to
not.
give you a little bit of a quick shout out because I want to share something with this. Is the fact that they tell me I didn't need to buy this. I didn't have to because I already have like an amazing PC setup and such. And they're just like, you don't need an iPad Pro. You don't need a MacBook Pro. I'm like, no, I don't need it. But it's very useful for work efficiency. And like, I was like, and guess what? What happens? What's gonna happen if like I'm not home, and somebody is gonna have to contact me for something that they need real quick. You know what? I have the Mac for that and the iPad Pro since I will be taking it with
Mm.
me for wherever I go. And
Big
on top
brain.
of that, like, and like what if my PC just decides to collapse and I have to like rebuy the parts? Well, in the meantime, I could just use this Mac and the iPad Pro for work efficiency, especially for trying to challenge myself to learn products that are Apple exclusive, and that will help me work better with with my stuff that I'm working on right now, and for future reference as to what I could branch off to. So yeah, here I am with my stupid purchase, and thank you guys so much for supporting me and also talking shit straight to my face.
All right. Yeah, that is very mega brain, I see. Um,
Hmm.
may I just ask what
So,
configuration you got the iPad Pro in?
okay, so I have let me see. I actually have it right here in front of me because I kind of like did like the readjustments of it to
Oh
when
yeah,
I
I
purchased
I
it.
have my iPad Pro
So,
right in front of me
uh,
too.
oh, okay, perfect. So, I got the 1.4 gigahertz quad core 8th generation Intel i5. So it's turbo boosted up to 3.9 gigahertz. Uh, 8 gigabytes of RAM. There it's DDR3, 2133. Uh, yeah, you get the idea. Anyways, I got myself a little bit of more storage of my SSD, so it's 512 gigabytes. And yeah, that's pretty much of what I have right here. That's to what it says.
And what was that for?
For storage.
For storage. All right.
Yeah,
Okay. Just saying. I am a bit confused. Which device is this again?
this is for the MacBook Pro.
The MacBook Pro. So
Mhm.
you're saying that you wait. Okay. You didn't upgrade the GPU, right?
Yeah, no, I couldn't.
Okay. So you're saying you upgraded all of those things, but not the GPU.
Okay, look, I
And you're
know that
saying you're
kind
a
of looks
graphics
suspicious.
designer. Are
Like,
you okay?
I look, trust me, I went through worse. I went through worse. This isn't the worst of it, but it works for right now. I do need a better one though. But that being said, of course, again, like I don't think I'm gonna have this MacBook Pro for too long. And before anybody jumps to the conclusion here, look, the moment that they introduce that A14 Bionic chip, that's what I'm going to be replacing it with. I know they're going to, if they don't introduce that to their MacBook Pros, we're fighting. We're actually fighting. Like, they better do it next year. Like, you cannot just casually just drop that onto the iPhone and the iPad. And for what it performs, like, you know what? Give me that. And with that being said, like, I will have the better opportunity to actually upgrade my MacBook Pro, even though I've only had it for like a year, which I'm hoping that they'll introduce it by next year. But that being
Oh,
said, like,
trust me,
look,
they will. They
I'll
will.
be fine. Exactly. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that they will because I'm just like you cannot just do this out of nowhere. Especially the fact that I just bought these products and such, and I'm like, okay, you know what, Apple, I'll be glad to sell my soul for real quick, especially for because a lot of people say, because again, like, they're just like, you don't need this. I'm like, okay, but think about it though. Like, this is backups, and this is for stupid ways for me to like, have over proficiency. I'm going over to the top and extra with my proficiency, and being very efficient to my clients and to my own personal projects. So it's fine. I do not see the problem, and especially for the fact that like I might have to help out somebody that is only Apple exclusive as well. I will have the knowledge for them and be happily to assist them with whatever they need for their needs, you know?
I see. I see. All right. Um. Well, also, just saying. You might not know this,
Mhm.
but Apple isn't gonna put A14 into their MacBooks. Like, no, they're not gonna put A14 or any other A series into their computers. No, no. They're making their own custom chips for their Macs, which will be much more powerful. Trust me, so much more powerful. So your expectations are going to be blown out of the park.
Oh, well, then you know what? Again, this is still a win win for me then.
Yep, even better, right?
So I think it's, yeah, no, it will be, especially the fact that like they'll actually have that like appropriately optimized for the Mac lineup. I think that's fine. That I'll take that actually.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Right. Optimize. That's the word. I literally just forgot half of my vocabulary today. I have no idea what's happening.
Look, it's fine. It's perfectly fine. But well, okay. I mean, that's all I can really say about the iMac and the MacBook Pro, at least. Um, I get like there isn't much for me to say about the iPad Pro because it's also somewhat of the same reason. I kind of just like gave that as to like one of the main reasons as to why I got the iPad Pro and why I like it so much. But oh my god, something about this device is just so good. I don't know what it is. Like I've been using it a lot, and like I'm trying to find a way of how I'm going to hang up, like, or I wouldn't say hang up, but like have my iPad appropriately displayed because it's currently laid flat onto my desk like this, and it's just like I want to have it something to where it's just like it can be displayed properly.
Mm-hmm.
So like as I'm working and such, I can also manage over here, have like that smaller screen while I have big screens over here, and then I have my iMac over here, and actually another laptop that I have too. So yeah, I have two laptops. Hi.
Wow. All right. I have a quick question. All right. So for your iPad Pro,
What's up? Mhm.
do you have any accessories for it? Like Apple Pencils, Magic Keyboards?
The only one that I have right now is the Apple Pencil, but I do plan on getting more for it since I don't know. Sometimes
Okay.
I'll be working on something and I just catch myself just using the iPad. I'm like, oh wait, I forgot I'm here. Oops.
I see. Right. So I have both the Apple Pencil and the Magic Keyboard. So
Oh.
yeah, it works really well. And you said that you want something that could like hold it up and just prop it so it can properly uh be just standing. And that's literally what the Magic Keyboard is for. So like that was kind of funny. You said yeah, you want to buy like an accessory. Apple literally sells one.
Well, I mean, I can't see myself like using like the actual like keyboard for it though, but like, you know, I mean, again, like I said, over efficiency is not exactly a bad thought, especially for a keyboard. Because I usually just use the main like touchssucreen
Mhm.
keyboard for it
Yeah, it's
though.
not
But like,
bad.
you know what? Changing my pace for it though, and using the Apple Pencil again, it's not exactly a bad idea. I like your suggestion with that.
Okay. Yeah, just saying though, it is like $300 if you got the 11-inch and $350 if you got the 12.9-inch. So it is a bit pricey. Just keep that in mind.
I'll find my ways. I will always find my way. That is a promise I can make to anybody. I will find my way.
Okay, you literally sound like me when I pre-ordered the Cybertruck. I was like, okay, yeah, I'll find my ways.
But yeah, no, like I said, like it's just with this iPad Pro, it's pretty much just like the complementary to like how I use the Mac. But like for itself alone, it's a really pretty display, and I love of how like they do their multitasking. Like it's better than like just like the regular iPad itself. The Pro does a much better job at it, at least in my opinion.
Exactly, yeah. Yeah. And also the buttery smooth screen, the 120 hertz refresh rate. Oh my gosh. That's so nice.
I I knew there was something that I wanted. I think that's what it was. It's because of the freaking refresh rate. That's right. Oh my god, it's really good. I'm actually just, and you know what? I'm really impressed with its battery life too.
Oh
Like
yeah, it's so
with
thin and light,
what
but
it like yeah, yeah, yeah. Go ahead.
it's so thin and light, but the battery life is so good. I have no idea how they did that. And like the screen is really bright, it refreshes really quickly, and somehow like even the chipsets, the performance is so well, but the battery life is still like that impressive, which really shocked me.
Yeah, and that was the thing because it's just like because again, like I'm like I don't go too hardcore into my editing or like doing my design work onto the iPad though, but like I kind of keep it into a moderate level to where like I'm almost pushing it, but not really, and I'm just here going like I've been using this all day, and it's not even like close to 20%. It's only like around at 50. I'm like, how? And I'm also having multitask. I have literally Discord open right here as the tab for it on the iPad Pro. How are you gonna sit here and tell like okay no there has to be some type of cost to it. What did you all find? Who did you sell your soul to which devil was it to make this happen? Because I like don't get me wrong, I'm very impressed, but Jesus Christ, for a small device like that, how thin it is. Wow, I'm blown away. Okay, all right, go off, Apple, continue.
Oh yeah, exactly. Like especially on like what is the word? I am literally the worst host ever. All right. So,
Oh
right.
wow.
Especially if you like really need power, you can turn off the 120 hertz screen. So the screen becomes just normal 60 hertz, it's really boring, but that basically just doubles your battery life.
You know what, I might okay like I mean, I'm in agreement with you. It's like, why would you turn off the 144 hertz? Like, that's just kind of like a dumb idea. But
Exactly.
if you know what, I want to see how long I last with it with just the regular 60 hertz. I'm actually quite curious with it because if it doubles battery life like that, you know what, we got some testing to do for that.
Yeah, so like for me, I basically use my iPads to take notes and stuff in class. So
Mhm.
I sometimes I make it 160, sorry, I make it 60 hertz instead of 120 so that it becomes
Right.
it lasts longer. So because if I just forgot to bring the power brick and stuff to school, I really need the extra juice. And like before, say I can take notes for like 4.5 hours, then I can take it for 9, and it's really crazy.
Really?
Hmm.
Huh.
But I mean,
Oh
it could
wow.
also be a factor of like less processing power when I write. Since when I like take notes, I write with my Apple Pencil, and that means it has to activate two layers of the screen, so both the display
Yeah.
and the 240 hertz screen that senses the Apple Pencil. So I think like when I make it just normal 60, the screen refreshes to 60 hertz, but also the Apple Pencil layer also reduces by 50%. So that becomes 120 hertz. And that way, I think like that because that is a 180 hertz reduction. So I think that's like what really causes the battery life to go that far, you know?
Every day I'm just I definitely believe in that though. It's just hearing that. It's just like I'm pretty amazed as to how they find their ways. Again, you cannot discredit Apple. I don't want to hear this slander. Like, forget it. I don't think this is a bad thing, especially for people that exclusively have to use Apple products or want to as well. It's a nice transition. I'm just saying.
All right, exactly. Yeah. Also, just saying, we just passed the 1 hour mark. So, how much time do you think you have left?
I got plenty of time.
Oh, really? Well, I
Yep.
mean, we still have two more points, which is uh, another half of the podcast. You know, we can split this up into two episodes if you want.
I mean, hey, I'm actually down for that. I don't mind.
All right. Well, if you want to, I can cut this episode off right here, and then we can just immediately go to the next episode, and then we can release these two separately, like at separate times. So that's obviously more hype.
Hey, double the content. I like that idea. See, this is
Exactly.
why I respect you.
Double the content, double the sponsorships.
Exactly. See, you already know. We're already thinking ahead here.
All right. Well, so do you want to split it up?
Yeah, sure.
All right, that's awesome. So, Edo, could you tell the audience where they could find you again?
All right, so you guys can find me again. Like usually, like the most active platform that I have right now is Twitter at EdoNinja HD. That's pretty much to where you will find me. Of course, like it will have like my updates into my design work and my video effects editing. Just know that you're like, I don't know if any of you guys have ever heard of this game, but it is very, very heavy onto Persona 5 Royal. So if you like Persona 5 in any way, shape, or form, just know I post a lot of those onto my personal Twitter. And again, there's many things that like I branch off of it. Again, you guys can check out like my bio and such, and like all the information is there. Again, I am also a host of my own podcast. It's called Storm Connect, and the Twitter for that is at Storm Connect En, and it's hosted by my network called Sigil Arts. So, that's something that like you guys could check out. It's more of the game. Like again, like this is also like technology like revolved around because it's crucial and important for like the world of gaming. So that's also that aspect that's also included into that. And also, like, I will say this as well. Like, another thing that it will be like the best way to know, like, the fastest way that you'll be able to know my content updates besides my Twitter is my Discord server, and you will be able to find that onto my Twitter bio at EdoNinja HD.
All right, that's awesome. It's great having you on here. I had a blast. Hopefully, you can join another time as well, aside
Mm-hmm.
from the next episode, which you will also be appearing in. And yeah,
All
all
right.
right, guys, that's it for today's episode, or this episode, because since it's not daily. If you're on Apple Podcast listening, then please give it a rating and a review, since it really helps out the podcast and its rankings. Once again, don't forget to check out Edo Ninja on Twitch, Twitter. Like, you also have a YouTube channel, right?
I do. It's currently like not exactly active though, but it's becoming a little bit more active because I've been having the high requests as to like doing like these type of like editing, like audio visualizers or like the mock-up concepts. So I might be doing a little bit more activity here and there on my own spare time though. But my heavy content is usually with my podcast and basically with like my design work. So I hope that you guys would look forward to that and such. So You guys, again, it's also the same name for my Twitch channel, EdoNinja Storm HD. That actually used to be my old name, and now I decided to cut it off. And I can't cut off the Storm HD on other platforms, so you guys can find it there onto YouTube and onto Twitch as well.
All right, yeah. So don't forget to check him out. Also, check out his podcast as well, which is considerably better than mine. Mine is like an ant compared to his. So yeah, check it out and take it out. Just I literally cannot talk anymore since yours is so much better than mine. I just feel defeat, you know?
Oh, it all takes practice. It's no worries.
All right, that's it, guys. Take care and don't forget to drink water.